Hello crafty tribe, this is Artsy Maddie and let's get creative. So my first project today is this plastic charger that I found at Walmart. I just love the colors of it, the price was right, so I saw some inspiration and potential in it. So I'm starting out with these tin words from the Dollar Tree. There's two packages of them. One has the spring in it, the other has blessings. I just thought this would extend it a little bit further than Easter, so I'd get to use it through Easter. So I just gave it a white base coat with some chalk paint, and then I just wanted to give it kind of a watercolor, faux watercolor, because I'm using acrylic paint, but just kind of a faux watercolor treatment like the picture on the charger. So I just went in with some similar colors and just watering them down a bit, just blending them together. There's no right or wrong. It's just paint and I'm just blending some together, so don't be intimidated by it. It's fun, it's crafting, and there's no wrong or right way to do it. So just going in with some of the colors from the inspiration off of the plate. And I thought I would just do the pink and purple together and then try and do the green and blue together. So just going in with a little bit of the deeper colors, but sticking with some of the light as well. And if it does get too muddy or too dark, you can always just stop, let it dry, and then give it another try. Even if you have to give it another base coat to give it another try, but definitely worth experimenting with and super fun, super therapeutic. Painting is great for the mind. It kind of lets you be creative and disappear to this creative place. So give it a try. So just going in with some of the green and blue, just same thing. I'm going to kind of blend them to be not exactly half and half, but just together. And I find blue and white, whenever you paint blue and white together, sky blue, it always looks like a sky. It doesn't matter what you do. So no wrong or right, just paint. So just going in with a little bit of a darker blue, just because I noticed the butterfly had that and it was really striking. So just trying to get the same type of color. And here they are. So I just gave them a quick spray with a matte sealer just to protect the paint so it won't chip off. And then I just tacked them down with some hot glue. And I just thought I'd put them on a little bit of an angle to give it some interest. And then I just purchased one of these frame plate display holders from Dollar Tree, and that's how I'm going to display it. And it worked out great. So it just holds up the plate for me. And here it is. I'm very happy with it. I think I'll get a couple months out of it. Instead of it saying something Easter, I can just use it all through spring. And then just to let you guys know, this video today is part of the Easter DIY challenge hosted by Heidi Sonboul, and I'm so excited. She's someone who's been inspiring me for years with all her beautiful scrapbook layouts, and then finding her on YouTube and now, and with all this inspiration for DIY projects. She's going back to some paper crafting ideas, which I'm really excited about. She also has a health channel now. She is one busy super lady, sure to inspire you. I'll have a link to her channel in my description box as well as the playlist. So be sure to check her out if you haven't. She's the queen of DIY. So for my next project, I have a placemat. It's from Walmart as well. Same colors, it kind of coordinates with the charger. So I saw potential in that as well, and the price was right on that too. So I'm in Canada, so the price might be more in Canada than it is in the States, I think, but hopefully you guys have these available too. So I just mounted it to a 1/8 inch hardboard. They'll cut these down for you at the hardware store, and they are a great bang for buck. Like, they're $10 for a 4x8 sheet, so you can get lots of panels cut to any size you'd like. I find they go like a little bit further dollar-wise than all those boards at Dollar Tree, but you could also glue a couple boards from Dollar Tree together to do this as well. For framing, I'm loving these 3/4 by 3/4 strips. So what I do is just buy a bunch of 1x2s, and my dad helps me rip them in half, and then you get a bunch of 3/4 by 3/4 inch strips. And then you can stain them any color, paint them any color. They're easy to cut, and you can frame anything for way less than $1. This probably cost about 40 cents to frame this, so I thought that was a great deal. And here it is, just simple, easy. I thought the picture was so cute. I just turned it into a framed piece of art. So here I am with another piece of 1/8 inch hardboard, and I just gave it a coat of white chalk paint just as my base coat. And this is another placemat from Dollarama, and I thought it was really cute and had lots of nice detail, so I thought I would make a picture out of that as well. So here I'm coming in with some light blue paint. So I actually have two tones. So one sky blue paint, I just added a little bit more white to it than the other. So I have the lighter one at the top, and then I'll just go in with a little bit darker. You might not even be able to really see the difference. I tend to be kind of detailed like that. Of course, it's not necessary, just showing you all the steps you could take, kind of all the possibilities. But of course, you could just paint it plain blue too. And then I'm just going in with a light green to be the grass on the bottom. And I'm going to go in and add more details on that. But of course, you could just paint it green too. It's up to you. This is just for inspiration. So once those dry, I went in with a damp round sponge. So they sell these in a 2-pack at Dollar Tree, and they are perfect for making clouds. So it's just a damp sponge with some white chalk paint on it, and it gives you that perfect little cumulus shape. So you just kind of go in and push on the top of it to make some clouds. There's no wrong or right. It's just paint, and it should be fun and therapeutic. Not to stress out about it, just have fun. You can paint some little wispy clouds or fluffy clouds, whatever you feel like. And the dampness of the sponge will just wipe away any mistakes you've made, or if you think they're a mistake, there's really no right or wrong. And then I'm just coming in with some medium green and just a touch of dark green just to add some texture and depth to the grass. And again, just kind of dabbing it around, just giving it some depth and dimension. Again, not necessary. You just do what you like, use colors that you like. No wrong or right, it's just paint. So then I'll show you what that pink placemat looks like if you put it back just on white. So even that's just pretty, you could stop there. But of course I want to show you all the ideas I have for this project. So I went in with lots of color. So all those spring colors, purple, blue, orange, yellow, and I just kind of did a faux watercolor treatment again. So just lots of water on my paintbrush with acrylic paint. And I thought I would just give it a bunch of stripes because the placemat kind of has stripe details, like a stripe of flowers, a stripe of dots, and I just thought it would look pretty underneath that. I thought I would line them up, but then I ended up just going for it. I thought, that's too tricky to line them up. Of course, you could go for that much detail too, though. If you're like a really patient painter, you could trace out all the flowers too and do them different colors, but I thought this would look pretty, just giving it a bunch of different striped colors. And again, it's just fun and therapeutic. Take your time. I love lots of color, but you could do this just one solid color too, and maybe give it the watercolor technique just so it has some kind of texture to it. You could do 2 colors. You could do anything. The sky's the limit. So I'm just going in with a bunch more of those spring colors. I'll try and blend them a little bit. Of course, they don't blend together exactly like watercolors because they are just acrylic paint, but you could even do some watercolor paints. So just showing you, I think I blend a few of these together. So I went in with some aqua, and I think I go in with like a brighter blue too that I was using before. So it's kind of that bright blue of the butterfly and the flowers and stuff that were on the plate. I'm not sure if I'll be displaying them together, but just in case, it's kind of nice when things kind of pull out colors from each other. So these stripes really don't line up with the flowers or whatever, but I still like it. It still works out. It's still good. So I'll just show you with that pink placemat back down on it. So here I am with the pink placemat again, and again, just wanting to show you all the ideas. So I thought I would add some texture to this as well. So I just go over it with kind of a medium pink color and a little bit of purple, and then an even lighter pink that just had some white mixed in, just giving it some depth and dimension, and to make it look like it's kind of watercolored as well. Again, not necessary though. I'm curious to know if you guys recreated this, where you would stop or what you would do. I would love to hear from you what you guys would like to do with this project. So here it is, all together. And then I can't stop there. We'll just show you all the ideas. So I'm showing you how I'm going to frame it again with just those 3/4 by 3/4 strips. Now there wasn't enough room to put them on top for this project, so I actually glued them to the outside of the hardboard. And it was a little bit of a messy process because I just used hot glue and it didn't give me the best seal. So I did decide just to go in with some twine, which is a YouTube idea. I've seen lots of crafters do it. Never done this before, but I thought, well, that would be a great way to hide these little imperfect seams. So I just dyed some white cotton twine with some of the paint that I was using just to make it the same color so it blends in. And then I just used some of the craft glue from Dollar Tree. It said it dried clear, which is all I cared about, so I thought, oh, I'll give that a try. And it was good. It was really sticky and it did dry clear, so I was happy with that. And then again, just with the blue for the top half. It was really easy, kind of slick, and it just hid all those little imperfect seams. And then, because it's never enough, I thought I would just show you some more ideas how to dress up this picture. So I have a few flowers. The purple ones are both from Dollar Tree, the yellow one is from Dollarama. And then these little Easter picks are also from Dollar Tree. They're just styrofoam eggs with little sticks in them. And then because I see everyone doing these beautiful bows, I thought, well, maybe I should give it a bow. But I didn't have a lot of wide wired ribbon, which is, of course, the preferred ribbon to use. So I thought I would just try one with what I had on hand and just kind of make it like a little messy, skinny bow. But I wasn't totally thrilled with how it came out, so I thought I would just show you guys anyway, just as options or inspiration. Would you have used this bow? Like, would you not have used it? Would you make a great big wide ribbon bow? Tell me what you guys would do. I'm always interested to hear for more inspiration, more ideas. So I just went over the little sticks on the picks and painted them, or actually just colored them green with a Sharpie. I just thought it would be less messy than paint and quick to dry. So I just glued everything down, just with some hot glue, kind of spread them out flat. And then I just came back in with that reindeer moss and glued that down. So I think it just adds kind of depth and dimension to the picture. I knew I would be resting it too on a shelf and not hanging it. So I think that was the other reason I was kind of unsure about the bow, just because I wanted to put it underneath this and I thought it would look a little squished sitting on a shelf. So I was pretty sure I wasn't going to use it, but then I found some wired ribbon. I thought, well, maybe I should try it with that. So again, just showing you my process and everything I went through with this. So I just tied it up, thought I'd give it a try. Still not too sure about it. So I did know that I wanted to add a butterfly. These butterflies are also from Dollar Tree. I wished I had a purple butterfly, so I thought, well, maybe I'll just add a little bit of purple to this pink one. Wasn't really sure how much I would add, but I just covered up the brown, gave it a couple stripes, and then I thought that was enough. So just, again, a little bit of water on my brush to make it look kind of watercolory so it blends in a little bit better. I'm still fiddling with that bow. So I just glued the butterfly down and this is what I ended up going with. But please let me know if you made this project or if you're going to make this project, what you would do. I would love to hear from you guys. I'm also on Instagram. You could tag me on there with your project. So here are these foam kneeling pads from the Dollar Tree. And when I saw the colors, I instantly thought, oh, that's so spring, so Easter. And I was kind of inspired by those hearts at Valentine's that would sit on your shelf, and a lot of people did those candy heart kind of ideas with them, with the words. So that's what inspired me. I used these Dollar Tree paint your own egg, these little wooden pieces, as my template. You get 2 in a package. And then I just used those as my template to cut out kind of these faux candy eggs, and then I wanted to write some words on them, just like the candy hearts at Valentine's Day. So the trick is to keep your knife sharp. When you're cutting foam, you always want a sharp knife. They do sell this sharpening stone at Dollar Tree as well. So no excuses. You can keep your knife nice and short, nice and sharp. Gives you, like, not a perfect cut, but it does make it a lot easier than trying to cut foam with a dull blade. So then I just cut the bottom to be flat so they could sit on a shelf or wherever you put them, on your tiered tray, whatever you want to do with them. So I did this faux Ray Dunn font, the skinny from defont.com, and then I knew I was going to do a bunch of them. So I did end up just using a wood burning tool to just easily like go over the words and indent them into the foam. There's so many ideas though. You could do puffy paint words, you could do just regular paint words. There is quite a heavy texture on these though, so I feel like puffy paint might work the best for that. Or if you have the patience, you could just carve them out. That's what I was going to do, but then I wanted a bunch of them, so I thought it'd be a lot quicker with the wood burning tool. So it is a little bit tricky to transfer the words to the foam just because it is so soft. So what I ended up doing, instead of using carbon paper to transfer, I just kind of poked through the paper. Like I actually let the pencil rip the paper a little bit and then just used it almost like a stencil with the pencil to write the word onto the foam. And then you can see the wood burning tool just like melts right through it. It's so easy. It's just like butter. I did turn on a fan to just kind of blow the fumes away from me so I wasn't breathing them in. And then I just wanted to have all the Easter colors, so I did end up painting a purple one pink and a green one yellow, just so I have kind of all the spring colors, and I just thought they'd be cute for little Easter vignettes and maybe on my tiered tray as well. So just to enhance them a little bit more, I went in with some white paint and I just painted that down into the crevices in the words and then just wiped it away with a damp cloth, and it worked perfect. The white paint just stays down into those little crevices. And then here they all are finished, and they sit nicely on the shelf, so they worked out great. And I think they'll just be a really easy, cute little thing to add to each Easter display. And then on to the next craft. So I'm just sharpening my knife so I can get a nice clean cut on the styrofoam. So these are some nesting styrofoam rings from Dollarama. And I thought I would just cut them in half and that they would make 2 really cute rainbow shapes is what I thought of. And I was really excited about this idea. I actually wanted to put fabric on them, but I couldn't find the perfect rainbow of fabrics. So I ended up just going with this tissue paper from Dollar Tree. And I was really excited when I found it, but then I opened it up and the colors weren't true to the advertised colors on the front. They were kind of a little off and funky. There wasn't really a proper yellow, but I just decided to make it work anyway. So you can see the yellow is kind of greenish and there wasn't really a bright green, and the purple's really dark, but I made it work. We just went for it anyway. So as you can see, cutting through tissue paper, you can do a lot of layers really quickly. So I know this is like 1,000 circles, but it only took a minute or two because you can cut through, you know, like 20, 30 sheets at a time. So I just cut out a whole bunch of circles and then I'm just Mod Podging them onto this rainbow. So tissue paper is perfect for decoupage because it's so thin and you can manipulate it around the shapes really well. So I did just cut them in this circle shape just to make it easier to decoupage, I thought, than squares and rectangle kind of shapes. I didn't know how I would end those, so I thought if they were round, it might be a little easier to blend the two colors together, because I knew I wanted to do orange and red on the largest, and then the green and yellow on the medium, and the blue and purple on the smallest one. And then, just because I love to show you all my ideas, I went in with some more detail, and I'm using this little embossing dot tool from the Dollar Tree. And this is super therapeutic. I don't know if you guys have done dot painting, but it's really rewarding. You can kind of just go into this zone and just paint your dots. I was doing kind of a little flower design with them. So just doing a little circle of dots, and then I go back in with another color to be the middle of the flower. And I just did them in kind of coordinating colors to the tissue paper that I was working on. So just to kind of make the colors all blend together a little bit better, because they weren't exactly the colors I wanted, but we just made it work. And I think it turned out so cute. This is probably my favorite project. I just thought it was such a cute little happy rainbow for spring. And I really hope today that I've given you some inspiration, and I hope you've seen something that will help you to be creative in the future. And if you did, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. And if you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Be sure to check the description box for the playlist and for Heidi Sonboul's channel if you haven't checked her out yet. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.